For the latest news updates on all things Transformers, go to hybridnetworkyt.com. Hey guys, it's going Josh here, and today I'm going to talk about how I think they could fix Transformers 5. So if we had to re-edit this movie, change a few things in the script and the story, I think first and foremost we need to take out those Cuba scenes, man. The reason why I say that is because while they're fun in concept, they were just there to be there. I mean, they really didn't add anything to the story, and for a movie as long as the Transformers movies have been getting as of recent, I mean, Transformers 4 is ridiculously long, but Transformers 5 is pretty long too, and they cut 40 minutes of footage, I believe, on top of that, so that's even ridiculous. That's more ridiculous, I should say, which is something I wish would stop. They should stop filming so much if you're not going to use a lot, because then you just suffer in the editing room. Plot usually kind of gets a little incoherent when you're missing 40 minutes of footage. But anyways, getting past that, I think the Cuba scenes didn't add anything. I thought they were kind of comedic, but when the movie, like I said before, is extremely long, like at least 2.5 hours long at the final cut, every second kind of matters, every scene kind of matters, and I just think you shouldn't waste time on something that you're not going to properly utilize, such as filming in Cuba. You could have easily taken what Agent Simmons done and saved 20 minutes by just having Anthony Hopkins have the book already. I mean, really, that was kind of just drama that wasn't needed. Now, the other thing is the military. Now, the military is hunting Transformers and stuff like that, but it's kind of confusing because the military people, especially the colonel that is from the previous Transformers movies, and the general actually from the previous Transformers movies, from Revenge of the Fallen, I believe, in Dark of the Moon, they're going back and forth about how they know the Autobots aren't bad and stuff like that, and they fought with them before, to defeat the Decepticons and yada yada, and it comes off as really confusing because you're thinking to yourselves, alright, so if the government knows the Autobots are good, and they know which ones are the Autobots, and they know Cade is helping the Autobots, why are they hunting them down again? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I thought we went through this in the last movie, and all the negative effects of that in the last movie. But it seems like the military, I know Michael Bay loves having the military in his movies, but it's one of those things where the plot would have just been a lot better if you just focused on Cade, maybe the new character Isabella, Vivian, and Anthony Hopkins' character. If those are the main focuses, human character-wise, in this movie, instead of having to interject the military, I think everything would have flowed a lot better. And also with the Cuba scenes, you would have saved a lot of time not having to waste filming those scenes because the military just kind of gets in the way, I should say, of the plot in Transformers The Last Knight. Third thing I want to get to is Stanley Tucci's character. He plays Merlin in this movie, but he played another character in the last movie, Age of Extinction. Now, his character in Age of Extinction was the whole guy obsessed with the Transformium, and he owned KSI, who made the artificial Transformers, and that was really cool. And I think it would have been really cool to connect those characters. Maybe Merlin got immortality from the Transformers, or even maybe this is descendant and he heard his ancestors' stories about the Transformers and stuff like that, or at least the aliens and everything. Maybe he pieced it together that they're actually the Transformers, which is kind of what pushed him to wanting to study them so much, Enter the Transformium. It was just really weird having Stanley Tucci reappear in this movie as Merlin and him not be referenced at all in any capacity to his previous character, considering his character in Age of Extinction isn't even dead, and would have been a nice resourceful character to have in Transformers 5 The Last Knight. Also, another thing that would have been nice to see is the whole Megatron thing, from Age of Extinction. It would have been nice to see Galvatron turn back into Megatron, just like Quintessa turned Optimus into Nemesis Prime. It would have been cool if she turned Galvatron into Megatron. It would have been cool if she kind of turned Optimus and Galvatron into Nemesis Prime and Megatron together, because they have a line where they're like, we used to be brothers once, and they both did co-lead Cybertron for a time. So it would have been cool if maybe Quintessa was hoping to kind of bring them together again to co-lead the new Cybertron, because obviously she was hoping her plan would work and Cybertron would be made healthy, whole, and I guess new again, I should say. So that would have been really cool to see. Also, Nemesis Prime is really wasted in this movie, I gotta say. I mean, the dude doesn't do much, and really, it doesn't really matter at all what he does, because basically only Bumblebee and a handful of human characters even witness him as Nemesis Prime. I mean, literally, you could have, and the funny thing also is that he's even I don't think he said, I'm Nemesis Prime to them. He just let them think he was Optimus the whole time because they kept yelling Optimus Prime at him. Really, the only indication that he was different was his eyes changed. It would have been cool if he had more of an aesthetic change along with it, just like Megatron got a new body and stuff like that as Megatron versus Galvatron. All in all, I really think they dropped the ball on that. And speaking of Quintessa, the final thing I think would have really helped this movie is if they, at least maybe in the beginning of the movie, showed the kind of primordial conflict between Unicron and Primus, maybe kind of show the basis of Quintessa, maybe the true origin of the Transformers. If she really did make the Transformers, maybe they show that. Or if it's a situation where Primus created the 13 Primes and Quintessa, as a lot of people believe, it's just one of the original 13 Primes. That would have been cool to see too. Just anything to give us a more kind of mythology building story to go off of. Because really the whole Unicron is Earth thing it's a mixed bag, really, and it just really doesn't matter to the movie fans because they don't really know what the fuck that even means. Comment below your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. If you could change Transformers The Last Knight, what would you change about the movie? In hard mode here, you can't use Michael Bay not being director. He must stay as a director. So comment below your guys' thoughts, and I'll talk to you guys later.